If you could please help me welcoming Russell Davis and Jahshua Smith. Now, Russell is the residential coordinator, or counselor, excuse me, at Highfields, has been for 7 years, talented musician, and the coordinator of our arts and technology program. And Jahshua, former Highfields employee, now the assistant program director at All of the Above Hip Hop Academy in Lansing, specializing in working with victims of trauma and violence. So please welcome them to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, so in the spirit of hip hop, we have this thing we call call and response. That means I ask you all to do something. Does everybody have the ability to put their right hand in the air? If you do, I want you to reach as high as you can. Now reach higher. Now, how many people reached higher when I asked you to do that, even though I asked you to reach as high as you can? So when we talk about the capacity to create with these young gentlemen behind me, that's exactly what we're talking about. We want to promote resiliency, and that's something that as an art form, hip-hop has done since its establishment in the South Bronx in 1978. You had the MC, or the master of ceremonies, much like how I'm speaking to you right now, and they would be at parties where you have the B-boys and B-girls doing breakdancing. And that was used as a way to quell gang violence by giving them a different medium to hash out their differences. Now, let's fast forward about 38 years later in Chicago, in 2016, where the kids have a underground rap scene known as drill, which is very nihilistic, talks about violence with no holds barred, no stone unturned. And a lot of the students that we work with not only share experiences with the kids who enjoy that art form, but also listen to the music themselves. So keeping that all in mind as a tool to help them establish their own narrative, to be able to delve into some of these darker spots in their past, but to do it in a productive way that helps them have their own identity and share it with the world. That's when we talk about emotional literacy, being very aware of their safety, their emotions, how they deal with loss and their future. And I'm very privileged to come back to Highfields. I was a supervisor at Let's House at one point. Thank you, Olivia. And I'm gonna have Russell talk more so about the wonderful kids that we've been able to work with during this period.
When I started working at Highfields 7 years ago, Jay Smith was one of the first people I met and connected with, in large part due to our mutual love for hip hop music. And we kind of subconsciously used it as a way to not only build a rapport with our clients, but also to establish treatment. And fast forward 7 years to today, to see Highfields embracing hip-hop music as a form of therapy in collaboration with the All of the Above program. And also to see Highfields having its own fully functioning studio on campus for the students to use is, if not the most, one of the most rewarding experiences of my career. To see these kids in this element taking situations that really are traumatic, dark stories, and turning them into pieces of art that give inspiration is remarkable. And I feel so blessed. It's recharged my batteries. If anyone here hasn't had the privilege and experience of working in residential, allow me to tell you it is a draining experience, to say the least. But this has recharged my batteries. It's lit a fire in me that I'm so excited to share with you. If you look on the back of your programs, there's a piece entitled The Struggle that one of our students, Marcus here, is going to present to you guys today. And I hope that you guys can see what I mean when I say inspiration. Please welcome Marcus as he comes to the stage.
Mom always told me to watch before I crossed the street. I never thought I'd have to steal to get a bite to eat. In middle school, struggled to keep some decent kicks on my feet. Stayed up late at night in my room, pencil making beats. And I would come home every day crying for weeks and weeks. Mom told me stay strong, but my self-esteem was close to defeat. Went from thoughts of toys to thoughts of meals, mine took a giant leap. God helps through everything, but our relationship was getting weak. With Mama was the same, working school, no time to raise me. My brother tried his best, but no teen can raise a baby. Then I started troublemaking, turned from good to bad, then crazy. Then I turned violent and my mind turned to gravy. Financial aid never seemed to keep any food in the fridge. I ran away from the crib because there's always meals in the bridge. I never opened up, so no one knows the reason I did. That's the reason I'm independent, because I could never be a kid. And with no one to motivate me, I can never stay driven. With no father figure, I can never go fishing. No boys stay real, the grass high, but I hear hissing. And for the stuff my dad did, I hope they let him rot in prison. Every couple months, we'd always move place to place. It was crazy, I'd never know if by dinner I'd have a plate. I kept up with the trouble, it was getting worse at a scary rate. I hurt my mom so bad I was ashamed to look her in the face. I wish now that I would have tried to learn my lesson, but being broke ain't always a choice, and I rarely had many blessings. It got even worse by the time I turned 11, because that's when God decided to take my grandma up to heaven. I always was mad, got in lots of fights and brawls, turned from small stuff at school to beginning to break the law. It was baby time at first, but I still felt the desire to ball, because I was injuring myself, I couldn't walk, I had to crawl. But I ain't gonna never stop till the day I'm on my last breath. I'm gonna be a good father to my kid. I'll never forget how my dad left. My mama gonna be sad to put the bills up till my death. I'm just tired of all this BS, cause my whole life's been a big mess. But I'm done. I'm gonna make it good for my sons. Gotta make it home, cause my whole life all I've had to do is run. It ain't fun seeing drugs, violence, and guns. My family gonna see me shining. These haters gonna know I've won. Thank you.